Welcome back. It's time to get real. And let's be real, folks. The political left, these social media oligarchies, all of them, anybody in power on the extreme left, and shouldn't even say extreme, on the left these days, if they're in power, they love to censor and silence and pretty much try to just cancel everything and anything conservative. That's the way it is. Whether it be the folks over at Twitter, Facebook, mainstream media like CNN, MSNBC, you name it. And they actually take pride in it. They brag about when they cancel conservatives. And then, of course, don't get me started on Antifa and BLM, who will fill the streets, burn down cities, no big deal. They get a hall pass, right? Because they have a social agenda. Well, all that nonsense needs to come to an end. We have to stand up, fight back. Stop being the quiet conservatives. You hear me say it all the time, folks, on this show. Take a stand. Well, a new book. I want to talk about it now. Author Sam Sorbo recently released it. Look at the title. Words for Warriors. What a great title. Shares a story of how radical left-wingers have infiltrated this nation, and with their manipulative language, let's be real, that's what they do, and their socialist agenda, they have brainwashed a big portion of this country. Joining me now to talk about the book, along with her, some guy you might recognize, husband, Sam and Kevin Sorbo. Sorbos, what a good-looking couple. Thanks for coming on the program again. How you guys been?
Pretty good. Busy. Running around. Things are, we're trying to fight the good fight just like you are.
Yes, you guys are. And thank you so much for what you're doing. Kevin, we'll get to you in a minute, but ladies first on this show. So, Sam, you have the new book out. I love the title. I just had a brief intro there to you, but could you explain to folks a little bit more what kind of empowered you to write this and then go into detail a bit more about this book?
Well, the truth matters, and I've noticed that we're being lied to consistently. And part of the way that they're sort of getting away with the lies is they've changed the meanings of words without sort of telling anybody. And the main word that sort of brought me to the idea of the book was fascism. They're saying that fascism is right wing. It's not. It's left wing. It has everything to do with all the left wing ideologies, including communism. They have the same artwork. They have the same, black and red scheme, and they have the same tactics, frankly, bullying and intimidation and violence. And so once I sort of recognized that, I started noticing that they've done it with a number of our other words, including education. What's happening in our schools today is not education, and so that's a big one for me, frankly. So. That's where that came from.
Thank you so much. That's what made me go take a stand at my child's school board a week or so ago, and video going viral. Lots of folks are saying, good for you. I just got fed up, like so many parents out there. It's not just the mask mandates, it's the CRT. And then I found out, I didn't even know this one till I got to the meeting, the amount of sexual ed at such a young age they're now pushing. I mean, you've got schools that are telling fifth graders they should use condoms. Why are we even talking about sex with fifth graders? I mean, the insanity.
Why is lubrication a word that they're teaching second graders?
And you know what?
Sex grooming.
Yeah, it is. And this is what I tell everybody that's a conservative, doesn't want to ruffle feathers with their neighbor who's a more moderate, maybe Kennedy Democrat or whatever. I'm like, look, when are you going to take a stand? Because 5 years ago, we didn't think it'd be this bad. 10 years ago, we didn't think it'd be this bad as it was 5 years ago. Look how fast it's getting, where the progressive left, and what you said is right, it's their messaging, how they have indoctrinated and taken over a large portion of this country where people have been brainwashed to think that this mindset, this radical left, is the correct way moving forward for this country. But they're better at messaging. That's the problem. We got to get better at messaging that our side is the right way for this country. Don't you guys think?
Well, Sam and I were just talking about this just like an hour ago about the acceleration of the control that's going over us right now. And this COVID it's the perfect storm that they've created to either gather and gain more control over all our lives. It's unbelievable. And Sam, I want you to talk about Saul Alinsky because she wrote, I love this part.
So Thank you. Words for Warriors is a play off of Rules for Radicals. Rules for Radicals was dedicated to the devil. Words for Warriors is dedicated to the word, because in the beginning was the word.
Yes.
And, we've gotten away from first principles in this nation. Yeah. We think that if we go and I commend you, we should go and rail at the school boards, but you have to understand the school boards are graduates from that system. So if you're railing against those people who are sitting on the school boards, you're not going to be able to affect it as effectively as just withdrawing your children from a system that seeks to teach them those things. That's the problem.
Very good point. Yeah. More.
And that's why I do my show. My show's called School's Out with Sam Sorbo, and it's on Epic TV, EPOCH TV. And so please join me over there and watch, because we need to relearn what education is in this nation.
Yes, yes. Couldn't agree more with you. My situation isn't that easy. I have someone else to consider that makes decisions 50-50 on my child's education, because I'm divorced. So that gets a little sticky when I decide, if I say, let's go to private school, let's homeschool. I don't get 100% say. But I see what you're saying, Sam. It's a very, very good point. I would add to that if you don't have the means to pull them out and homeschool or send to a private Christian school, then guess what? Rally and kick the board out and get yourself on the board. Then you can change the curriculum, right? Go run for office.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to change the culture and reinsert traditional values in our culture. That's why we do the films that we do. Kevin's got several documentaries that are coming out. I also have some, and we've got Miracle in East Texas, which is a comedy that also seeks to uphold traditional values and inspirational messaging.
It's a true story set in 1930. So that'll be out first of the year.
And people can go to sorbostudios.com to either contribute and help bring the movie to theaters, or just to see what we're up to.
You guys are always just working. So, Sam, you got the TV show, you got the book, and you're helping with and in some of the films as well. Kevin, you've got several out there. Nice transition, by the way, Sam, over to the hubs now. So, Kevin, talk about some of the films that you're going to be in.
Well, I just finished the Ronald Reagan movie with Dennis Quaid.
Oh yeah, I heard about
Quaid
that
plays Reagan. I play his pastor in it. I did a piece for it's called Pieces, a new TV more of a drama.
Yeah.
There's a lot of comedy into the pieces. I run a camp up in Mount Shasta. I had to go back to California to shoot this, but thank God I was in Northern California. It's a little more livable up there, and it really deals with troubled teens at a camp that I run. I'm about to direct the next Left Behind movie.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm starring in it as well. And then I got a Western I'm working with Dean Cain and Antonio Sabato.
We've had them on to talk about it.
Called Trailblazers.
Trailblazers, yes.
Filming that later this year as well. So I'm staying very busy. And Sam, tell them about the documentary we have.
Oh, we've got a new documentary called Systematic Deception, which is basically all about CRT. Very excited about that. That should be out a little bit later this fall. And we're getting a whole bunch of great names on there, Alan West and Alveda King, and just a whole bunch of really great speakers.
A lot of African Americans that the left will go after and call them white supremacists. Anyway.
Yes, right. Like Larry. I know it's so disgusting what the left does. We're out of time, Sorbos, but leave that on the screen, guys, if we can. It's sorbostudios.com if you want to connect with Sam and Kevin Sorbo, whether it's donating, getting involved, or finding out what their next projects are. And the book, again, is called Words for Warriors. All those new films and docs out by the Sorbos. God bless you two for what you're doing. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank
you guys take care. Yep. And that's going to do it, folks, for tonight's show. I appreciate you tuning in. Oh, by the way, before we go, though, get the contact info on the screen real quick. There we go. You want to get a hold of me? Email, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. Don't forget, if you can't watch the show live when it's airing in your neck of the woods, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, you can always DVR it. Watch it later. Still counts and helps for the ratings, so we can do better than those other mainstream, lamestream networks. And before we leave, because I promised it, Don Griffith, you're still our dunce of the day. We'll see you tomorrow night. Till then, be proud, be safe. God bless.